All right, YouTube, this is Detroit's HPTV back at you with another video this Sunday. We're going to give a shout out to this brother named Kevin and his website. His channel is Kevin's Corner. And he put this montage together of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the Cackler. Now, you're going to see Joe Biden lose control of himself and get to caressing a black man. You know what I mean? Now, if you've seen my other video, you have to really see that there's something weird going on in the Democratic Party over there to the left. So watch this video to the end, and I'm sure it will give you some clarity about why this country is in the mess and in the shape that it's in, and how people are blindly following and devoted to a party of suspicious acting characters, to say the least. You're going to see Kamala Harris at her best. We're going to show you Kamala at her best, and you can decide for yourself. Is this a candidate you want to support, or are we going to still consider to have cognitive dissonance and ignore what's really going on? Now, this video is the second one I'm making today. This is for the enjoyment of my subscribers and the members over here at this channel. If you're not a member, become a member. But watch this video to the end. Surely it will give you cause to ponder. It's under the I'm showing this under the 1976 Copyright Act for fair usage. It's for commentary and educational purposes. Check out who's running the country. Watch this.
You know, I was in that World War I cemetery in France, and
France.
the one that one of our colleagues, the former president, didn't want to go and be up there. I probably shouldn't even say it anyway.
Our starting QB is not looking good right about now. It's okay, guys. We still have hope. I think we can go ahead and finish the game. I think he'll be able to pull through at the last second. So let's stick with our starting quarterback, okay?
Let me close with this. Last month, Jill and I traveled to Normandy, France to commemorate the 80th anniversary of D-Day. We met with American veterans. Some of them about 12 or 14 over 102 years old.
He's not
12 or 14 over 102 years old. Veterans who we toured the battlegrounds, went to the cemeteries, and looked at what was.
Wait, what's this? What is he doing? What is he doing? Why is he fondling that big black man right there? I don't understand why he's fondling a big black man. You see the black man right there? He's uncomfortable with this fondling.
ESPN.
Our starting QB is down. He's down. We need to find a backup quarterback real quick. Anybody got somebody in mind? Okay, so just we're gonna watch some film on our backup QB. Who's the backup QB? What? The Cackler? I ain't never heard of her. But let's watch some film on her to see if we want to bring in the Cackler as the backup QB for creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe, who obviously done went down in the game. I mean, that last clip solidified it. We need a backup. That man can't be out there rubbing all up and down men's forearms. What's wrong with him? He used to stick with just kids and women. So let's go ahead and pop in the film and see if we want to recruit and bring in the Cackler. That's a lot of cackling. Is that a song?
To hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
Now, I'm a little shocked. I mean, she's supposed to be backing up the QB, the starting QB, but at one point they had beef. I wonder what made her set aside all that beef and decide to come onto this squad and back up the starting QB. Because I mean, when you start saying the starting QB is a racist and things like that, I would think you wouldn't want to play with him. But hey, maybe she put all of that aside, let bygones be bygones for her career.
The conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
Bad record.
She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? I mean, after watching that little exchange right there, looks like the Cackler stinks. Boy, I mean, has she won a game? Has she won a game? Why are we going to recruit this?
Yeah, have y'all forgot that when Kamala was in California, she was locking up Black women because their children were truant and missing school and was proud of that? Oh, that's before she started saying that she was a Black woman and she was a sister. Before then, she was locking y'all up and cackling about it.
Backup QB. I mean, I know the starter is down. Our starter's down, but I don't know. After watching film, I don't know if the Cackler could come in and replace him. She might be worse than a starting QB.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you were in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
This whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. Bob and Doug returned to the Kennedy Space Center. They suited up.
Okay.
They waved to their families. And they rode an elevator up nearly 20 stories. They strapped in to their seats and waited as the tanks beneath them filled with tens of thousands of gallons of fuel. And then they launched.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are...
I think I'm going to stop there because they had tanks, literal tanks, filled with tens and thousands of gallons of fuel. 10,000 gallons of fuel in a tank? Impossible, Cackler. 10,000 gallons would need more. I mean, you need more than a tank to contain 10,000 gallons of fuel. Let's continue.
They did.
Now, is the Cackler playing against a whole bunch of kindergartners? Because I thought she played against adults, but she's talking like she's talking to a whole bunch of kindergartners. I don't know if we could bring the backup QB in, but however, you know, I guess the owners of the team, they ain't got no other choice. I'm trying to warn them, don't bring the Cackler in. From what I can see watching this film, the Cackler stinks. But maybe it might get better. Maybe these are old film footage and stuff like that. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe caught her on a bad day. Let's continue.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you lived and what came before you.
I don't understand.
And as always, Wakanda forever. Paid for by Kamala Harris.
Now, does the Cackler know that Wakanda's not real? She made a... Wait, let me get this straight.
Wait a minute. Y'all vice president is not running on Wakanda forever. She already said she wasn't going to do nothing specifically for Black people, period. But she's representing Wakanda, a fictitious place out of Marvel Comics. What's really going on that Democratic plantation? We're going to have to figure out what they taking They're taking the good stuff.
She spent money
That's
on
why they
an
got the
ad
borders open.
that is promoting her as the leader of a fictional country. I don't know. I think the owners of the team is about to make a horrific mistake.
You ain't black.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
Okay, was the Cackler practicing on kids again? I don't know if she could get in there and run an offense. I don't know if she can get in there and call the plays, because it sounds like she don't know the plays. She don't even know the basics. Did she study the playbook? It sounds like she's reading the playbook in the game. Ukraine is it's somewhere, and it's next to Wakanda, and there's lots of things Ukraine, and it's basically being attacked by a bigger Ukraine. There used to be Russian disinformation, and that's what she sounds like. I mean, who recommended the Cackler to us? I don't understand, but dang on it, I'm enjoying watching this film, if nothing more than to get a chuckle out of it.
And for President Duda, I wanted to know if you think, and if you asked the United States to specifically accept more refugees.
It's the world stage.
Okay. A friend in need is a friend indeed. I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank and our NATO allies, and what is at stake at this very moment. What is at stake this very moment are some of the guiding principles around the NATO alliance.
So the Cackler got a chance to get in the game, and that's what she did. That's how she performed. Let me get this straight. On the world stage, you go over there and you don't know where you're at. I'm here, right here, somewhere, over there, over here, over there, over here. Wait, where are we again? That right there is making me concerned if the Cackler has been smashed in the head a couple more times than the starting quarterback. What kind of mess was that? I mean, do you think the other teams are going to respect the Cackler when she runs out on the field?
I love Venn diagrams. I really do. I love Venn diagrams. It's just something about those three circles and the analysis about where there is the intersection, right? Yeah, I see people, you agree with me, right? So, okay, so I asked my team, I brought props.
She brought
puts
props.
my face in her hand. Says Barb and Mike, my father-in-law's Mike. She puts my face in her hand. She looks at me and she says, "Oh, look at you. You're prettier than you're on television. Mike, look at her." No.
I don't know if I can take the Cackler. That's some Cackler. Oh, here's the Cackler down in Puerto Rico. Let's see how she's received. That's right. Clap them hands, Cackler. Cackler. What? Oh, they're talking about me? They're protesting me? Yeah. Bring them down. I like it, though. I like this song.
The governor and we were all doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children. It's plugged in, so it's plugged into this normal electric socket, right?
She's pushing the Cackler.
It's a 240 volts.
This car right here.
You go ahead and plug in, and
Okay.
that's it.
Okay, you can let it go now.
That's it.
Take your hand
And
off.
there's no sound or fume.
That's right.
There's
It's
nothing.
electric.
Yeah. And that's
So
all
for
there
all of
is
us
to
who are used to
it. Every morning we
filling our tanks, you usually can smell it and you can hear it. You
Yeah,
can
but
hear
it's
the guzzling sound.
right.
You can let it go now.
None of
So
it.
how do I know it's actually working?
It is.
No, Taraji. Now, you know I wouldn't do that, especially not to a fellow bison.
Here we go.
The real
Look how
ancient,
genuine
you
the
know.
Cackler is.
So what's on your mind? Oh, Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing? Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. Wakanda forever.
The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea.
Right. So the Cackler got another opportunity to get in the game and prove herself on the world stage, and this is what she does. She mistakes North Korea for South Korea. That's not a good look. I'm about to cut this film off at any second, but before we bring in the Cackler to replace the starting quarterback, who definitely is garbage, he just went down. We need to watch film on her, because we surely wouldn't want to recruit and bring in a backup quarterback that stinks, would we?
And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring. I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve.
Is that worth laughing?
I love Venn diagrams.
You said that before.
I just do. Whenever you're dealing with conflict, pull out a Venn diagram, right? And so, the three circles. And so I asked my team, right? They're fantastic. Out right now. Think of it then in the context of, I like to think about a lot of things in the context of a Venn diagram. I love Venn diagrams. Always ask, is there a Venn diagram for this? I'm telling you, often note, and I've talked with many of you about our shared belief that our world is increasingly more interconnected and interdependent. That is especially true when it comes to the climate crisis, which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work,
you said that already,
operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action.
Now, I'm all for teamwork making the dream work, but how many times you gonna say together, work together? Maybe she forgot she said work together 8 sentences ago. Maybe she just want to drive it home, or maybe something's going on up here. I don't know if we can go ahead and put the Cackler in the game, but hey, the owners of the team, which are the stupid Democrats, want to put this chick up. So let's continue seeing what the backup quarterback is capable of.
We also recognize, just as it has been in the United States for Jamaica, one of the issues that has been presented as an issue that is economic in the way of its impact has been the pandemic. So to that end, we are announcing today also that we will assist Jamaica in COVID recovery by assisting in terms of the recovery efforts in Jamaica that have been essential to, I believe, what is necessary to strengthen not only the issue of public health, but also the economy. Today, the business of our work is for the council to report on the work that has occurred since our last meeting across these areas. We will today also discuss the work yet ahead, the work we must still do to continue to move forward.
Work. All we do is work. How many times you gonna use that? Can we work it? Let me work it. Put my thing down, something there. It's yours if it's yours if what is she talking about? That's a lot of work. We're gonna stick her out there. We're gonna put her out on the field. Do you understand? We're gonna get laughed at worse than when we put the starting QB out there. Yeah, that's what's going to happen, especially if the Cackler, with these clips right here, have to go in and go up against a heavy hitter like North Korea or China or Iran. You think they're going to respect the Cackler? First things first, they're not going to respect her because she's a woman. These are countries that really don't respect female leaders. So if you're going to be one, you better be a strong, competent one. Now, do you want to put her up against Kim or Iran or the Taliban or any of those countries that kind of snub their nose at female leaders? They would eat her for breakfast, man. But let's continue, because apparently the owners want to stick her in. I guess they feel they don't have another choice.
Because when we think about the strength of our democracy, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy.
Yeah.
When it's intact, it's so strong. In terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature. And it's very fragile
It will only be as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
Now, is the cackler drinking? I'm wondering, is she drinking on the job? Because she sounds like a drunk aunt. That's so strong, baby. And look, babe, come here. Look, listen to the cackler, babe. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to learn you something. Sounds like a drunk aunt at a picnic trying to explain or trying to sound deep and philosophical. Because I don't understand what the heck she's talking about. So as of now, I ain't seen nothing that the cackler done right. Nothing.
Man, this is bad politics.
F-Series, America.
For us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist in our present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history.
Wait a minute. To see the moment in time in which we exist, and we exist in the moment of time, and what?
And in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
There's nothing worse than getting an inebriated person trying to philosophize and get deep. That's what she sounds like. She sounds like an inebriated person that's just out there putting together all kind of phrases and trying to sound deep. And if you were to ask the cackler, what does that mean? Probably wouldn't be able to explain it. Good grief. Who suggested her?
Space is exciting.
Oh, space.
It spurs our imagination.
She talking to the kids again?
And it forces us to ask big questions.
What kind of questions?
Space, it affects us all.
It do?
And it connects us all.
I just love the idea of exploring the unknown. And then there's other things that we just haven't figured out or discovered yet. To think about so much that's out there that we still have to learn. Like, I love that. I love it. You guys are going to see. You're going to literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes. Oh, my goodness. With your own eyes, I'm telling you.
As opposed to someone else's eyes? So now, there it is. That's a setting that the cackler could maybe thrive in. I don't think she's ready for the big show because she's talking to adults like she just got done talking to those kids. She didn't change it up. She's not able to go in and out, right? She's just always in child mode right there. And so that's what I meant when I say she sounds like a drunk aunt, because that's what she just sounds like, talking to those kids about the moon with your own eyes, with your own eyes. Yeah, I don't think she'll get respect. In fact, if she runs out on the field and replaces our starting quarterback at this point, I got a feeling our opponents are going to be licking their chops. Like, oh, they sending in a cackler? Oh, we about to smash, so we about to run up the score now.
When we talk about the children of the community,
Oh, the children again.
they are the children of the community. We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously. You need to get to go. I need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get.
It's the best we got to work with. I mean, because if that's the case, we're doomed.
Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly, we're not.
No, that's right, and that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times. And I think the first part of this issue that should be articulated is
Even the staunch is Democratic supporter has to admit that this VP is an all-out goofy. That's a goofy. I'm going to just show you a little bit more how goofy she is.
AI is kind of a fancy thing. First of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. But ultimately what it is it's about machine learning. And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine that will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what information is going in, what then will be produced in terms of decisions and opinions that may be made through that process.
Does the cackler read the playbook? Does she study her notes, her plays, or does she just come out on a field and just wing it? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like she's in a constant mode of wing it. I'm pretty sure everybody's like, look, all right, you might want to study this. You might want to familiarize yourself with this. Maybe you need a teleprompter. I don't know. But when she comes out there, it sounds like she is pulling every word out of her butt. And I don't even think she knows what she's talking about. I'm thinking the Cackler might just hope you don't know that she don't know what she's talking about. So their number one QB goes down because he sucked and they recruited him in the first place. They wanted that guy. Now they're trying to bring her off the bench, and I'm looking at the film like, oh, I don't think she can win a game.
The work that we are doing to, again, deal with disparities also includes acknowledging that for so many people, in indigenous people who don't have access to high-speed internet. And so the president and I feel very strongly about that, and we've dedicated $2 billion to what we need to do for Indian country to support the installation of high-speed internet. So these are some of the examples of the partnership, and I do believe it's just important to be present to acknowledge the importance of the relationship.
Well, I think culture is it is a reflection of our moment in our time, right?
Exactly.
And present culture is the way we express how we're feeling about the moment. And we should always find times to express how we feel about the moment that is a reflection of joy, because it comes in the morning. We have to find ways to also express the way we feel about the moment in terms of just having language and a connection to how people are experiencing life. And I think about it in that way too. And they had to bring the carrots.
Make this a summer to share and save during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event in one of our capable SUVs. This summer, visit...
Okay, so it sounded like the Cackler, the only thing she can do is cackle. And that's what it sounded like. And that's not going to win any games. In fact, it's going to encourage our enemies to just run all over us. You can't go out there and just laugh your way through the starting position. And all I've seen come out of her is a whole bunch of word salad and some cackling. That is it. That's why she's called the Cackler. And but maybe it'll change because we're about to get, some references from some people who've been observing the Cackler and maybe could expound upon her political career and expound upon her accomplishments before we stick her in as the starter.
It has a lot to do with it. She's a Black woman. Black women get everything done. We've saved this country's democracy.
She was obviously amazing at one specifically.
But, well... where shall I start? I mean, she was in the Senate, of course.
But no, I mean, as vice president, of course,
vice president. She's the Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, she was the face of Roe v. Wade. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'd like to ask you, what did Pence say? He put his lips firmly on the butt of Donald Trump.
Wow. So I guess her reference that she gave, don't know what she's accomplished. There you go. It's like calling up somebody for a job reference. Did Frank work for you? Yes, he did. Can you give me some info on how Frank was as an employee? Frank showed up every day, and he was there. He breathed. He would sometimes say hi, and that's pretty much all I got. She can't even recommend the Cackler. She's up here boasting and trying to say the Cackler is great. And then coming in with she's Black and this and that. Is that a skill? I didn't understand. I didn't realize that being productive and ready for your job requires you to be Black, white, or whatever. See, and this is the problem. She went in on the physical attribute of the Cackler and not the skill set. Don't even know. Forget it. It ain't even worth me looking at the accomplishments of this Cackler. And that's why I'm watching film. See, I want to be informed. And I want y'all to be informed before y'all go in and say, yeah, she looks like a good backup quarterback. Everybody needs to be watching this film with me.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can.
Now, she uses this phrase so much. I just want to know who told her that that was a good phrase, and what does it mean, really? what can be unburdened by what? Let's listen to it some more.
Be unburdened by what has been, what we can see, what we believe can be, unburdened by what has been. What can be 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 unburdened by what has been. Who we can be, unburdened by who we have been. What can be unburdened by what has been. Where we can be, unburdened by where we have been, and unburdened by where we are right now. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What could be unburdened by what had been. What can be unburdened by what has 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 been. Unburdened by what has been. Believing in what can be. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be.
Wait. All right, now look, I ain't gonna be singing backup, and the whole song only has 2 lyrics. Dang on it now. I've been hearing this.
I gotta end here. I gotta be unburdened by what has been with Kamala Harris. I can't go any further. It's becoming nauseating. Is this your leader? Ain't that what Killmonger asked the people of Wakanda? Wakanda, is this your leader? In my Killmonger voice, Wakanda, is this your leader? Signing to you out of Detroit. It's Detroit's HPTV. Come to you out of Detroit. Support Detroit's Black Thought and Ash Collective, the nonprofit of Detroit. As always, salute to all patriots. I apologize for making y'all endure what can be, unburdened by what has been. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.